Hello everybody, welcome to Go Tarot Odyssey. How is everybody? Welcome to your daily pop of positivity for Monday. I'm really excited, you guys, because we're working on a secondary channel right now, which is going to be everything that's inspirational. It's always going to be primarily oracle and tarot readings, but what we inspire, learn, and grow from that to kind of like just get our head on in a really straight, grounded direction. Anything that I find, that is esoteric, medical, psychological, whatever, on the new channel, but it's going to have the daily pop amongst other things as well, so I'm really excited. So let's see what is in the air for today. We have notice the pattern, surrender and trust, and honestly assess. And in case you guys didn't see my prior read using these are the Cosmic Dancer Oracle, and the artwork and everything is so beautiful in this. I just love this deck, and I have a flip through in Sunday's daily pop of the deck because it's so amazing. So let's start with noticing the pattern. I'm going to have a quick sip of water because this is something I noticed this morning in myself as well. I was like, don't just rush and like a chicken with your head cut off, go grab all your materials and think you have to do anything by any given time. It's a very mellow Sunday. Take it easy. It's beautiful outside. Really notice everything with present moment awareness by slowing down. And that was one of the patterns that I do because, like anybody else, I get interested in looking at photographs or IG, and then I start to linger, and then I think, oh, time is getting away. So then I try to condense things for no reason. So sip of water, and then we're going to see what is going on. So excited. I love this deck. It has such beautiful symbolism as well as just really insightful, blessed little stories and tidbits in it. So let's see what's going on with this. I really believe with noticing patterns, it's about moving beyond the surface layers of our life to uncover the belief systems, the values, the paradigms that are creating the underlying patterns of our reality, right? Don't you ever notice you're sitting there and you're like, how can I give myself a treat? You probably picture the same store that you'd go to, the same restaurant, right? We set patterns, we do things that are very habitual. But why is it hard for us to break out of that and go down new avenues, right? It's one of those things where we have to, with pure love and unconditional self-approval, be willing to examine all the little filaments and threads that are weaving the fabrics of our experiences. Because oftentimes they're mundane, they're not even that enjoyable, but because they haven't harmed us, we'll do the same thing over and over. You know what I mean? Like watch an entire season of something in one sitting, and then our back will hurt, and we'll be like, where did that whole day go? Right? What is familiar about this situation? How far back can you trace it? It could be every time you go in the kitchen, you open the refrigerator, even if you're not hungry, yet that triggers, the instinct to eat something or snack. I do that. I feel like every time I go in the kitchen, I'm like, did something new grow in the refrigerator? It may be that a situation you're experiencing has roots in your personal history too. It could go back even further. Your heritage, your culture, past lives as well. We often feel frustrated when we identify the reappearance of challenging patterns because we imagine we've been running around in circles, right? But this is not the case. What looks like a circle is really like a spiral, bringing you closer to the center of your soul in these experiences. Each time a similar lesson appears, you have the opportunity to learn it in a new and profound way until you master and ultimately integrate it, right? I'm like this when it comes to reactions. If somebody in my family or otherwise says something that's triggering within me, it's usually like just they know that I take constructive criticism really well, and I'll laugh it off, but that's up until a point, not to feel like just somebody's entertainment where that sort of thing where they want to trigger me. I find sometimes like Ian will do that. He'll see something like he's very super neat and organized. His clothes are all the same color, all in the same place, and mine are literally like a rainbow all over the whole house. It's fine to say one thing once and I get it, but it's like when people harp on it, I see that as a trigger. But now within my pattern, I know to just stay silent. Silence lets me go, okay, noted, but I don't have to get defensive or have this be a thing. That's a pattern I can change, how I react and respond. So I feel this is a time too where we can assess and affirm our values and clean up any outmoded beliefs, get rid of like faulty foundations, send strong, healthy roots into like this cosmic co-creation that we're trying to form for ourselves. What new patterns do I want to establish? And it doesn't take long. Habits, most doctors and psychiatrists say that within 30 days of doing something, you automatically start to do it. That's your new foundation. Like say you want to drop out sugar out of your coffee, you just start drinking it like that. You start to get used to that taste. You get used to that momentum. And again, lots of times our body will physically start to do something before we are mentally engaged in it, right? Like you get out of bed and you go to the kitchen to do whatever you're doing. You're not really having to put a lot of thought in that, right? Your new awareness will really activate freedom too, to clarify what we don't want, and then we can choose what we do want, and really be unswerving in our determination to organize our lives around these choices. I'll do this. I will set a time now when I wake up. I'm like, sure, you can go and browse around on pictures you like, because artwork is definitely my black hole where I just fall in and I'll look at artwork for hours and hours. But I'll say, if you have this and that scheduled, give yourself 30 minutes to just relax with coffee and look at this. Set an alarm and be like, that's it. I'm not going to do this for 2 hours. I'm going to do it for 20 minutes, whatever. Okay. Now, I love the surrender and trust because I definitely feel that even though we don't know precisely how our path is going to end up or what it's going to look like, if we consult with our deepest inner knowing, we'll realize that this current that's carrying us along cannot fail to propel us to where our heart wants to go. It is in alignment with ourself and the divine source. We're thinking these thoughts and doing these movements and activating this alignment that is for our betterment. So even though it'll bring us to places unexpected, people we don't expect, it's all part of that journey. It's one of those things, the planets are the same, this perfect dance of harmony that they do. So we're really being called upon right now to open our heart to heavenly realms and realize that the resistance and tension and all of that we build up should just be released, and let the flow come in, and surrender and trust that what is being brought to us and what we're asking for is for our highest good. Okay, because a lot of people bring in fear and they feel unsafe. I don't like to do things I don't know or meet people that I don't know. But this is inviting us to trust in the highest potential that's right in front of us, because when we surrender to mystery and trust and how things unfold, we're much more relaxed, we're less resistant, and again, we don't have that tension and that fear. We're just allowing. And the more we relax and allow, the more space we create in our energy field for wisdom that comes in. It's like shifting our focus from dancing impressively to fully appreciating and hearing the music, right? Like, I'm going to show these people all my moves, but then you really hear the music and you just let go in the wonder of it. It's a different experience. It's lighter. It seeps into your pores. All of that. You release your cares. I think that's the thing. You really release your cares. And remember, let your dance practice be characterized by the feeling of surrender, flowing in the music with abandon, allowing the divine to flow through in everything that you do. It's all about that lightness of being and not taking yourself and everything so seriously, and realizing that we are meant to be in a receptive mode and allow for things to come in. I really love that. Now, honestly, assess. I'm constantly having to do this because I can be so delusional when it comes to having enough time. I'm like, I'll say yes to that. I'll create that. I'll make that piece of jewelry. I'll do this and that. And then I'll look at my thing and I'm like, well, what is with that time schedule? You've allotted 5 days of work in 24 hours. So honestly assess. So these situations call for examination and review. We need to take a step back and honestly assess how far we've come, where we are now, and where we would like to be, and really bravely look and discover where things can be improved and refined. We always have time for that, right? For a lot of us, it's just taking in too much, bringing things on board, bringing material things into our home, bringing a lot into our head, carrying stuff around, where I think when we're honest about that and we assess that, it's probably a good time to release some things and declutter. I constantly have to do that every day, because what happens is everything can carry off into the next day. Just a little bit of breeze picking up, and I don't want these to blow away. Moonbeams is having a nice little rest on the cards over there. I love this lighting right now. It's so beautiful. I'm like under my Japanese maple, and it just allows all these little beams of light to come through. It's so beautiful. This is one of the things that I aspire to in my videos too, and this is where I just did an honest assessment of my work. Sometimes I find that I'll be inspired, but it does take work for me to pack up very specific decks, bring them outside, bring all my all my photography equipment and everything. But I find it's 100 times nicer for me and probably the viewer, because they get a sense of outdoors. They see the grass and the trees and the breeze, and they hear the crickets and the birds and different things. So when I honestly assess that, yes, I could take the lazy route and just do it right at my dining room table, wherever I'm sitting, right there where everything's in grasp, it doesn't have that same artistic polish and naturalness to it. You know what I mean? Like, I can feel the breeze while I'm reading. It creates a difference in my mood too. So that sort of thing, honestly assessing our work, right? Okay, so on the physical and tangible level, what is it that you most want to accomplish or experience? Really write that down. A lot of people, it's like improved health, because I know a lot of people have stopped maybe exercising and eating as well as they possibly can. They might have been overspending. I know some people, Amazon.com is their new best friend. I know I don't even go on it late at night or if I'm bored, because I will find things I didn't even know existed on the planet Earth, and I think I all of a sudden need them. There's just something that's so compulsively crazy about Amazon, right? That instant gratification. Things of that nature. Let's honestly assess overspending, all of that. How can we get to where we want to go from where we are right now? This is us making our little building blocks and our stepping stones, right? Follow through on living your dreams really requires strategy and hard work. I knew when I wanted to do this and be self-employed, for it to be a viable source of income, for it to be professional, well done, and steady, and have continuity, that it would have to be a priority. When everybody else went to work, to school, this is my job. Even though I'm at home, I'm not at home to eat and watch TV and chill out. I'm here to create a nice artistic, like comfy atmosphere and have all my resources and work just like I would a normal work day, but luckily at my own pace and where I want as well. But honestly, there are days in the beginning where I would work sun up to sundown, just refining things, talking to people, gathering information, studying. It was a lot because I really wanted my heart and soul in it, and I really wanted to start as I meant to go on. So that's something too, because we can always change our strategy. Once we put our passions into action, we have to regularly check with ourselves and say, can I work harder? Or can I work smarter? I think is better. What skills can I develop? In what ways do I need to progress? Like during my kind of journey with this, I wanted to improve on my information on astrology, and always psychology has always been so big for me, that there's all these new studies and excellent experts out there. All of those, just polishing, finding, and refining more information. So when you're assessing your situations, be objective, be honest. There's no need to be dramatic or minimize it. No matter what the obstacle or issue you discover, you are more than qualified to overcome it. And keep reminding yourself of that. I'm more than overqualified to overcome it. For Christ's sakes, most of us have had children. We have lost loved ones. So usually the things that come up are not nearly as dramatic as we can make them. And sometimes it's a trigger from something else as well, right? You may not want to talk to this aunt or this person or clarify something just because they stir up old memories, things of that nature. But honestly, when you assessed it, you realize, hey, I can do this, and I'm going to take time today. I'm going to nourish my spirit and reward myself for my hard work. And when you feel tempted to keep striving, take some downtime, because when we honestly assess, we probably are pushing a little more than is necessary as well, you guys. So beautiful energy. Again, I'm going to keep everything updated both on my IG and over here on what's going on with the new additional channel, because I'm very excited. I'm pretty sure it's going to be called SparKrist. Anyway, I've got too much going on in my head. Like, I don't like really dividing, but I feel like it is important for what I'm doing to have just my main channel, be tarot and like the big, because I want to lengthen and make them more elaborate and fun too, like big multiple, like 6, 7, 8 multiple choice tarot picker cards. So I'll be doing less of them, but they'll be more elaborate, because I find I'd rather have fewer and have them be really nice, because I also just don't want to flood the channel with everything I'm filming all the time. So that's why I'm going to have a secondary one that's going to be the inspirational reads, the daily, anything else, flip throughs, reviews, just fun things. Also, like if I'm having a creative burst and I have lots of crystals and things, what I'm going to be making those into just a lot of fun stuff. So I'm really excited. So love and light to you guys. If you're new to my channel, welcome. Don't forget to press like and subscribe, and all my links are down below. If you need a private read or anything else, everything is down there. And my Etsy store, come over to Instagram and get in on all the jewelry giveaways. I'm just deciding today what this week's is going to be, so I'm excited. That'll be posted, and by following, you automatically are entered, you guys. And thank you for all your great reviews over on my Etsy store, and all your support. It means the world to me. Thanks, you guys. Enjoy the day.